Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review. And this time it's a much hyped, much loved fragrance called Grand Soir by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This came out in 2016. The parfumer is Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Now, this one is super hyped. And as it happens, whenever I smell something super hyped, I don't like it. Well, most of the times. But this time, there's an exception. I enjoy this one. And I've given it a good stab. This is a 10 ml decant. I've had it for more than 2 years. I wear it all the time. So, let me spray this. Actually, I've got a dry down here. And you wouldn't believe how long this fragrance lasts. It's a 15-16 hour dry down. I can smell it loud and clear. So let me put a tiny spray here just to tell you the opening. It's beautiful. So, the moment you spray this, you smell as if you're smelling a log of wood, freshly carved, freshly cut. So, this is going to last for about 5-10 minutes. And the fragrance is going to change. And when it changes, it literally is 5 minutes and then it changes. When it changes, it becomes kind of an amber fragrance. You know you're smelling an amber fragrance, but it's so radiant. And that's what gets me every time. And when I smell it again and again, I can relate it to many fragrances. So this is not a traditional ambergris or an amber resin kind of a fragrance. This is an amber wood fragrance. And amber wood is a synthetic compound which is used quite in quite a few fragrances. Some of them I've reviewed and I quite like amber wood. And that's probably the reason, that's the reason I like Grand Soir a lot. Now this amber wood or ambery, synthetic ambery accord is also supplemented with a kind of a benzoin-like compound. Benzoin smells like vanilla, but it's very radiant and it's very glossy kind of a smell. It's very beautiful. I've recently sort of acquainted myself with the actual smell of benzoin. Thank you, Rohit, for sending it to me. And I really enjoyed how benzoin smells. It's more gourmandy and it's got more radiance to it. And that's what I'm getting here. I'm getting amberwood with benzoin. When the fragrance starts to mature, you get a little bit of a vanilla, which is foody. And probably this is the reason why the fragrance loses its spiciness, tree trunk smell, and goes straight into slight semi-gourmand territory. It's slightly sweet and then loses its sweetness. And the fragrance also has a very prominent ambery nature. So that's the fragrance in the opening. The most notable thing about this fragrance is it's radiant. It's beautiful. I like the smell, and the feel is very radiant, glossy kind of a feel. So that's the opening. In the middle stages, the fragrance sort of loses its sweetness very, very gradually. And in the very late dry down, which is a 15-hour dry down, it's more like a baked cake with rum in it. So it's more boozy. I like the booziness in this. And it's less sweet, almost no sweetness. And it's like gourmandy. Chocolate cake is the smell I get. So chocolate cake, slightly boozy chocolate cake. That's the kind of smell I get. Semi-gourmand. And I can see why people love this fragrance. So let's talk about the pros and cons. So that's the journey. Very long scent, very little change, loses its sweetness, but it's a very nice fragrance. So, number one upside. This fragrance, like other MFK fragrances, think about Baccarat Rouge. It's the same kind of a feel to it. It's been created with one objective in mind, to make something that smells contemporary, modern, gets you compliments, and lasts and projects beautifully. That's the model they're using in MFK. It's a good model to have. I enjoyed it. So that's number one. This is a fragrance which is modern in spite of being amber. Amber normally is an oriental. This doesn't smell like an oriental. And apart from being modern, this fragrance creates a beautiful sort of an impression on people. You're wearing something modern, you're very likable, they'll compliment you. So that's the second high side about this fragrance. It's a good compliment magnet, no doubts. In fact, if you want compliments, I don't know whether this will leave a stain or not, so watch it, but you can wear it on your shirt. But if you're wearing a white shirt, I think you'll be very skeptical looking at the color. I've never tried it on my shirt, but I've tried it on my jacket, winter jacket, and it leaves a beautiful trail. Yeah. Third upside, performance. Superb performance. The fragrance has brilliant longevity, brilliant projection. Yeah. You'll never be caught out in a situation where nobody will be able to smell you. Now the downsides. Almost as the moment I say it's linear, it will raise a question because MFKs are very expensive. So, it's almost linear, but the complement factor is so high that kind of balances it. The other downside to the fragrance that I would say is if you approach this from a standpoint of a traditional amber, you might get disappointed, right? It's linear, you might get disappointed because it doesn't have the layers that amber has. Yeah, it lacks the multifaceted character. It's very sort of embellished amber, if you like, and it's mostly amber wood. But in the late dry down, it reminds me of labdanum resin, which is amber, and it reminds me of amber fragrances. So that's the other downside. Now, number three, I've talked about the value for money. Number three could be that fragrance can get boring because it develops so little. After about 10-15 wears, it gets a little bit boring because it doesn't do anything apart from get you compliments, and you're very used to this smell. But it won't get boring if you keep on getting compliments. So that's the other side to it. So those are the three downsides. Seasons. I think this one fragrance is such that you can wear it in any season, as long as you don't wear it daytime, summer. Yeah, it works in kind of early spring. It works in winter. Smells great in autumn. Perfect season is autumn. And it's just one of those fragrances that you can bring out any time, as long as you're dressed up. It has a very formal kind of a feel to the fragrance. Yeah. So that will cover the next point. That is, where do you wear it? Which occasions? I think that is where the big question comes. Can you wear this on a t-shirt? You can, but it's very expensive and it smells really classy. So I wouldn't want to wear this on a t-shirt, but I can if I want to, if I have loads of money. Who cares? But yeah, occasions, I would say slightly formal. Any time of the day, morning is fine. You're going for an interview, put one. Just don't go 2 or 3. It'll just kill the mood. It'll fill the room. You might get negative marks. I don't know. So this is one fragrance where you have to watch the sprays. You can wear this anytime, daytime, evening time. Slightly formal, very affable, very likable fragrance. High compliment factor, high quality fragrance, expensive. Age groups, any age group. I don't think a 20-year-old guy will have a problem with this fragrance. Unless he's a complete newbie and has never smelled amber. If he has smelled amber, he will not have a problem with this fragrance because this is very sexy, very sexy. So, 60-year-old, no problem at all. In fact, a tweed jacket, a nice shirt, a nice tie, this fragrance really will amp up your style. So, marks out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. The reason I'm removing 2 marks, number 1, affordability. It's very expensive for what it does. Yeah, there are many other fragrances which can do not exactly this, but they do a beautiful bright amber for much less money. That's number 1. Number 2, I would say, is the decision around when to wear this. It's quite formal. It's very expensive smelling. When do you wear it? So that question will come to your mind. And owning a bottle would cost you an arm and a leg, so it'll just sit there. So you're better off getting a decant if you can, like me. And there are other amber fragrances which are spectacularly sexy and don't cost too much. But don't take anything away from this fragrance. It smells absolutely amazing. This is a top drawer amber fragrance. Very nice. Love it. But yeah, not as much as the others I've reviewed. I'm leaving a link to another brilliant amber fragrance at the end of this video. Do check it out. And if you like the review, do give it a like. Take care. Bye-bye.